Hey everyone, my name is Cameron and I am super excited for today's video. Why, you ask? Because it's part of a collab hosted by the amazing Tansy Berry. Some of you may have already seen the videos posted by the other collab participants, but I'll still give you a quick rundown. This collab is centered around the game Project SEKAI, which just so happens to be one of my favorite games at the moment. So when Tansy pitched this collab idea, I knew immediately that I had to join. If you're unfamiliar, Project SEKAI is a mobile game that is apparently similar to Project Diva. I don't know, I've never played Project Diva. But it's essentially part rhythm game, part visual novel, where you follow a cast made up of 5 different music groups as they work toward making their dreams come true, with the help of none other than Hatsune Miku and her fellow Vocaloids. I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but despite knowing of the existence of Vocaloids for over a decade, I never really got into the fandom until I started playing Project SEKAI about a year ago, I think? Wow, time flies. Anyway, the characters in Project SEKAI are all so fun and vibrant in their own ways, and I was super excited at the idea of designing my own. Which brings me to this collab. The idea was that the 4 of us, Tansy Berry, Alpine Squib, Lemonade, and myself, would come up with a basic theme for a music group that would fit into the game, each design our own character for it, and come up with an album of songs that we think they would cover. For the theme, we thought it would be fun if we made a group themed around a local library, with each of us designing characters based on a different type of media that can be found in a library. Tansy chose literature, Alpine chose films, Lemon chose magazines, and I chose video games. The 4 of them all work or volunteer in their own sections of the library, but when the news is announced that the library might be closing down due to lack of funding and usage, they decide to band together to form an idol group with the goal of bringing public attention back to the library and therefore saving it from having to be shut down. With our concept decided on, I was super excited to get to work designing my character. But it turns out that designing a character based around video games is more challenging than it sounds. I mean, there are so many different types of video games. Would my character be into puzzle games or more into fighting games? Shooting games or platformers? Horror games or cozy farm simulators? Trying to fit all of this into one character seemed like an incredibly daunting task. So I decided that to keep it simple, my character would be very into retro arcade games. I feel like the characters in Project SEKAI are very fashionable by modern standards, but there is some untapped potential for a character who's really into retro fashion. I knew pretty much immediately that I wanted to base this character's color scheme off of retro game cabinets and box art, but I was kind of stuck for a while on what sort of outfit I wanted to give her. The games I'm referencing are mostly from the 70s, but I wasn't really vibing with what I was able to find of Japanese fashion during that time period. Jumping forward in time to the mid-1990s and early 2000s, I came across Decora fashion, which is actually still popular today. Decora fashion involves lots of bright colors and tons of accessories. Hair clips, bows, ribbons, bracelets, rings, necklaces. You can never have too many accessories in Decora. I really liked the idea of putting my character in a Decora-inspired outfit, but I had already envisioned her to be a more laid-back, chill person who tends to keep to herself, and super bright colors weren't really giving that vibe. Dark Decora does exist, but for some reason that didn't seem quite right either. That's when I stumbled onto Shinora fashion, the predecessor to Decora that was popularized in the 1990s by idol Tomoe Shinohara. This will be important later. From what I can tell, Shinora fashion is basically like toned down Decora in that it uses more solid color-blocked clothing rather than prints and patterns, and the main accessories are bracelets instead of hairpins. I thought this suited my character better, as a retro fashion style that gives her the opportunity to accessorize with her favorite video game characters while not being too over the top about it. In coming up with an outfit for her, I was really drawn to this look with the short overalls and the big t-shirt. I did consider giving her the shorts, but I just couldn't get the image out of my head of a knee-length skirt with high socks and big chunky sneakers. As far as accessories go, she's got hair scrunchies, a necklace, a choker, earrings, and tons of bracelets, as well as a charm for her flip phone. I don't know, I just thought the idea of her being so committed to the 90s aesthetic that she goes the extra mile and uses a flip phone unironically was so funny, I just had to include it. You'll see on the side there that I have references up for a bunch of different retro games. Initially, I wanted to have her be completely decked out with pins and bracelets relating to tons of different games, but I kinda got lazy, so you get the 3 most basic-ass games I could think of. Pac-Man, Frogger, and Space Invaders. The classics. With that decided, all that was left to do was to come up with a color scheme, which, like I said before, would be based on retro game box art. But I did decide to make the colors a bit more muted so they'd better fit her personality. And with that, her idol outfit was done and I could move on to her school uniform. So originally I was going to design 3 outfits like the characters in the game have: a school uniform, a casual outfit, and a performance outfit. But then I realized she would just wear the Shinora outfit regularly. Like, I feel like that would be her casual outfit, which meant I would have to design another idol outfit? And I stewed over it for a while and tried to come up with some other ideas and didn't really like any of them, and then I ran out of time and just said, I'm just gonna do the school uniform and call it good. So, school uniform. The characters in Project SEKAI have a couple different options for schools. There's Miyazaki, how do you pronounce it? There's Miya Masuzaka Girls Academy, Kamiyama High School, and secret third option. I decided to have my character go to Kamiyama High for no real reason other than vibes, plus I do think she'd get along with some of the other characters there. On top of the standard Kamiko uniform, I gave her a hoodie that was originally going to be like a color-blocked sweater, but then I kind of forgot to do that when I was coloring it, so maybe I'll redo it later, I don't know. But then, as a nod to her usual fashion style, she's also got a pin with a Pac-Man ghost on it, as well as some chunky Mary Janes. And with that, it seems like this character is just about to— wait, I haven't named her yet! I spent a bunch of time looking up Japanese names trying to find one that I thought fit her, but as it turns out, naming a character who comes from a culture that you don't know very well is really hard! I could just pick some Japanese words with meanings that I like and call it a day, but I would have no idea if what I chose actually works as a name, especially since I wanted to try my hand at writing it in Japanese too. What if I chose the wrong kanji? I didn't want to name her something that would make a Japanese person look at her name and go, huh, that's a weird thing to be called. And then, inspiration struck. If I named her after a real person, then I would know that a real person has her name. And therefore, her name would be a real and probably not weird name. Yeah! So without further ado, meet Tomoe Nakamura. Tomoe, of course, comes from Tomoe Shinohara, the idol we met earlier, and Nakamura comes from Masaya Nakamura, the founder of the video game company Namco. That's the one that made Pac-Man. I'm so proud of how this design turned out. I think she looks so cute. The only thing is, I got so wrapped up in making her a character designed around video games that I kind of forgot she was supposed to work at a library. If you watched Tansy's video, you'll know that at the time we shared our characters with each other, I really wasn't sure what Tomoe's connection to the library would be. Sure, I know that American libraries generally have video games available for people to borrow, but I can't just assume that Japanese libraries do the same, because apparently they don't. So Tomoe's connection to the library really can't be related to video games. I think I am going to stick with the initial idea I had, which was that Tomoe's parents found out she had been spending all her time at the arcade and chastised her for it, saying she should be studying or working instead. This led to her seeking out a job at the library, specifically in the back sorting books, the kind of job where you would expect to not have to talk to anyone. Tomoe initially got this job to get her parents off her back, but over time she finds that she actually really enjoys it. Then, when the library threatens to shut down, she has a pretty solid reason for trying to save it. I still felt like that wasn't quite enough, though. Project SEKAI characters tend to have some big goal that they're working towards, and I had no idea what Tomoe's was, or how saving the library will help her to achieve it. I spent so long mulling over this, thinking, what would her big goal be? And then suddenly, it hit me. What do the forms of media that the four of us based our characters on have in common? Storytelling! It's so obvious that we even decided to call their sekai the Story Sekai. On top of that, video games tend to have a very unique way of telling stories. What if Tomoe's dream is to one day make a game whose story resonates with as many people as possible? And in the meantime, performing with Library Love gives her the opportunity to share stories with a wide audience. Even if those stories are told through stage performances and not video games, Tomoe doesn't mind as long as her stories resonate with people. With that, I think I finally created a character worthy of being a part of hit idol group Library Love. But let's see what everyone else has to say.
She's so cute! And her haircut.
Yes, I love how her group outfit is so colorful, and like you've got all of these little sprites around her. Like you gave her a little Clyde bracelet and like the Pac-Man necklace.
Yeah, I was like the only Pac-Man.
Is that a Frogger keychain?
Yes.
No.
I wanted to have references to like a bunch of old retro games in there, but then it came time to do that, and I was just like, I'm just gonna do like the classics, Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Frogger.
She has to tone it down for all the normies around her.
Yes. She's not like other girls.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I also liked it in her school uniform. She's still repping Clyde. Like she's just gotta let you know that she's like a true gamer.
Yeah.
Ask me about my Clyde pin. I'll tell you. We love Clyde.
Clyde is the best one.
She is so cute though. Oh my gosh. I love her little socks and her little frills. Yeah.
I like how she also has the two scrunchies and has the third one spare.
Yeah.
Where are you putting that, girl?
Just like the rest of
I
her,
was
like,
just
bob.
Yeah, I knew I wanted her to have like a bunch of bracelets and stuff, and I was just like, what should I put on her wrists? Oh, another scrunchie.
Secret third scrunchie.
Yeah.
That is so cute.
Thanks so much for watching, and an extra special thank you to Tansy, Alpine, and Lemon for being such amazing collaborators. They're all such amazing artists, and I had so much fun working with them on this project. I absolutely adore all the characters they designed, so be sure to go check out their videos if you haven't already. I'll be sure to link them in the description, along with a playlist that Tansy made of songs that would make up Library Love's first unit album. I'm still kinda new to Vocaloid, so I didn't have much to contribute to the playlist. Huge thank you to the others for picking up the slack there. All of the songs they picked out are absolutely peak. I highly recommend you take a listen when you get a chance. That's all from me for now. See y'all in the next one. Bye!
The only one I know is the blue one, because it's Inky.
Inky!
Oh yeah.
I think it's Inky, Binky, Blinky, and... Did I say Binky? Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde.
Yeah.
Secret fifth option, Binky.
He's the non-binary one.
Which one are you?
Tag yourself.